Okay, so today we're still doing inequalities, but this time it's going to be your rational inequalities, which means these are when you have variables in the denominator. Okay, so your steps are still the same. So you're going to have to find the critical numbers. So if you already wrote down your steps for, we did day one, that's the same steps. You're going to find your intervals, or make intervals, and you're going to test the intervals. Okay, and same thing, I'm not going to make you do number lines. I don't know what number we're on, so we'll start over number one. It's really dusty. Okay, you ready? Alright, so when we're doing the rational ones, okay, first thing you have to do is you have to get it 0 over here, which we've already done that. Okay, you need to make this one fraction. How you make it one fraction is you get a common denominator. Well, this one has an x and this one has a 1, so this one needs an x. So we're going to multiply this one by x over x. So then I have 1 over x minus x squared over x. And then I can make that one fraction. So then this would be 1 minus x squared over x greater than 0. Okay, how you find your critical numbers on rational inequalities is you set the top equal to 0 and the bottom equal to 0 and solve. Okay, well this one's already solved. So to solve 1 minus x squared equals 0, I'd add x squared. I have 1 equals x squared. And then I would do the square root. When you're solving equations, you have plus or minus. Square root of 1 is 1. So I have 3 rational numbers. I have plus or minus 1, there's 2 of them, and then I have 0. Okay, just like we did on Friday, when you make your inequalities, you always go from least to greatest. We're always going to start at negative infinity. Okay, if there's an equal to sign, you have a bracket. If there's non-equal to sign, you have parentheses. Okay, so what's my smallest number? 1, negative 1, or 0? Okay, so I would go negative infinity and negative 1. I'm going to have parentheses because this does not have an equal to sign. Then my next interval would be from negative 1 to 0. Then I would go from 0 to 1. And then what's my last interval? 1 to infinity. Okay, and then just like what we did on Friday, you're going to pick numbers that fall in here, and then you're going to plug them in to see if they work. Okay, you have choices when you plug them in. You can plug them into the original, or you can plug them into this one right here that's simplified. So you can do the original, or you can do the simplified. Do you have a preference? No. No? Okay. All right, what number are you going to plug in for the first one?
-2.
Okay. So I'm going to go with the combined one, because it's less work. So this would be 1 minus negative 2 squared, so negative 2 squared is 4, over negative 2. So this would be negative 3 over negative 2, which is 3 over 2. Okay, is 3 over 2 greater than 0?
Yeah.
So this one works. Is everybody okay if I do negative 1/2 for the next one?
Sure.
Okay, Okay, so this would be 1 minus, well, negative a half squared would be a fourth over negative a half. So this would be 3/4 over negative a half, which would be negative 1.5. Is negative 1.5 greater than 0?
No.
No, this one doesn't work. Just like with Friday, most of the time, it's every other one. Not guaranteed, but most of the time. And you don't have to show your work on plugging it in. I know most of you are just gonna use a calculator, so you don't have to show, like I have to do this because I can't do it all in my head. So I'm gonna do a half for the next one. This would be 1 minus 4, so I'd have 3/4 divided by a half, which is same thing as multiplying by 2. So this is 1.5. Is 1.5 greater than 0?
Yes.
Yes? What number do you want to use for the last one? 2. So this would be 1 minus 4 over 2. So negative 1.5, is that greater than 0? And I'm assuming you're going to want to do interval when you write your answers. Did anybody use inequality notation? Okay. So negative infinity, negative 1, and 0 to 1 are your two intervals. Okay, first thing to do is get everything on the same side and then get a common fraction so that you can find your rational numbers. So I'm going to subtract 4. Greater than 0. Okay, then if I want to get a common denominator, I'm going to multiply this one by x minus 5. Do I need to multiply the first one by anything? No, because this would be like over 1. So I have 3x minus 5 over x minus 5 minus, then this would be 4x minus 20 over x minus 5. Okay, when you're combining, pay attention if this is a minus sign, because that minus sign is going to go to both of those. So 3x minus 4x would be negative 1x. But then this would be negative 5 minus negative 20, which would be plus 15. Over x minus 5 greater than 0. So then I would set the numerator equal to 0. And the denominator equal to 0 to find your critical numbers. So this one I would add x. So one critical number is 15. And my other critical number is 5. Okay, parentheses or brackets? Parentheses, and which one's smaller? Okay, so the intervals are going to be negative infinity to 5, 5 to 15, and then 15 to infinity. Okay, and you can plug it into the original, or I'm going to plug it into this one, just to make life easier. And I'm going to use 0 for the first one. So if I use 0, that would give me 15 over negative 5, which is negative 3. Is negative 3 greater than 0? No. plug in 10 for this next one, just to make the numbers easier. So this would be 5 over 5, which is 1 greater than 0. Yes. And then I'm going to plug in 20 for this one. So if I plug in 20, this would be negative 5 over 15, which is negative a third, is negative a third greater than 0. So my answer is 5 to 15. Okay, do you want to do another one or you want to just stop? Stop, you got it?